In every city, there are streets people avoid, not because they are dangerous, but because they expose a truth most people don't want to see. That life is not fair, and some people start far behind the line. This is one of those streets. This is where Daniel was born, not into comfort, not into opportunity, but into survival. Daniel grew up in a place where roofs leaked when it rained, and hunger stayed longer than visitors. A place where dreaming felt like a luxury no one could afford. His house was a single room, one mattress, one stove, cracked walls, a home filled with love, but starved of comfort. His father worked as a roadside mechanic, fixing cars under the sun, earning money that never stayed long enough to change anything. His mother sold vegetables at the local market, waking up before sunrise to prepare her goods and walking the long road with a basket balanced on her head. She returned home long after sunset, her feet aching and her hands rough from years of labor. Exhausted but uncomplaining, she carried her weariness in silence, driven by the quiet determination to provide, no matter the cost. At night, Daniel watched his parents pretend everything was fine. That's where he learned his first lesson: love doesn't complain, it sacrifices. At school, Daniel learned more than reading and writing. He learned what shame feels like when classmates laugh at your shoes. When the teacher asked what they wanted to become in the future, hands went up. Daniel kept his down. Dreaming felt expensive. At 12, Daniel realized something painful. No one was coming to save him. So he decided to become useful. After school, while others played, Daniel worked. He carried water, washed cars, ran errands, not for praise, but for survival. All the money he earned felt heavy, not because of its weight, but because it meant dignity. Failure followed Daniel closely. Some hustles failed quickly, others failed slowly, but quitting felt worse than hunger. One night, sitting under a flickering streetlight, doubt finally spoke. What if this is all I'll ever be? That night, Daniel made a promise to himself. He would not die poor in spirit. At 19, Daniel discovered learning, not in a classroom, but on borrowed phones and free internet. While others slept, Daniel learned by the dim glow of a flickering lamp, turning worn pages and asking silent questions of the night. And slowly, almost without notice, the world began to open, revealing paths he had never imagined and possibilities he once thought were beyond his reach. Then one night, a notification appeared on his screen. Payment received. It was small, almost insignificant to the world, but to Daniel, it was proof. Proof that the long nights mattered. Proof that the door he'd been knocking on had finally opened. It was also a proof that effort could travel farther than poverty, farther than the limits circumstance tried to impose. Proof that sleepless nights, quiet sacrifices, and stubborn belief could carry a person beyond hunger, beyond doubt, beyond the place the world said he should remain. It meant that where he started did not have to define where he would end, and that, for the first time, the future was listening. Daniel didn't celebrate, but the smile on his face slowly faded into tears. They rolled down quietly, unannounced, carrying the weight of every sleepless night and every moment of doubt he had swallowed in silence. These weren't tears of excitement or triumph, but of release, proof that the struggle had been real, and that for the first time, it had answered back. Slowly, life changed. Food came without counting coins or measuring portions, without the quiet anxiety of wondering if it would last until morning. Rent came without fear, no longer wrapped in deadlines, threats, or desperate calculations. The days grew lighter, the nights grew calmer, and the constant tension of survival began to fade. What once felt like an endless struggle softened into routine, and for the first time, life was no longer about getting through each day, but about imagining what could come next. His parents smiled more. The lines of worry on their faces slowly eased, replaced by a calm they hadn't known in years. They didn't ask questions or demand explanations. They simply believed in their son, in the unseen work he had been doing, and in the quiet change unfolding in their home. The hands that once reached out for help were now the ones reaching back to pull others up. The boy who once lived in the shadow of his parents' sacrifices had become their son. He didn't just change his zip code. He changed the weight of his father's shoulders and the worry in his mother's eyes. The boy who once had to borrow every pencil and every meal was now the one providing the very floor they stood on. Daniel's journey wasn't a sprint. It was a marathon through the dark. He didn't escape poverty by luck or a single stroke of fortune. He outgrew it, cell by cell, through the quiet violence of discipline and the stubbornness of faith. He traded his sleep for skills and his comfort for a future, proving that while the world might decide where you start, only you have the right to decide where you belong. He wasn't running away from the dust anymore. He was finally standing above it. Looking back at the cracked walls and the leaking roofs, Daniel realized they weren't just signs of what he lacked. They were the very things that taught him how to build. The hunger wasn't a curse. It was the fuel that kept his fire burning when the rest of the world went cold. He is the living testament that your origin story is not your final destination. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment below, and hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications to stay updated with every new video.